What's up, Enrique?
Well, guys,
It's going good.
How are you doing?
doing great. I'm out of Kamal's right now.
Oh, really? What are you doing there? Sorry.
Uh, my squire brother and I in the SCA, we're going through an event tomorrow morning. So we came up the night before,
That's awesome.
get a good night's sleep, so he can get drunk tonight.
You gotta do that.
Well, he's got to. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're having fun.
Yeah. We had Indian food for dinner.
Nice.
Michelle there with you, or is she back at home?
She's at home. She's got to work tomorrow.
Okay.
I had today off from work for Good Friday,
Oh, nice.
so we ended up getting a lot done.
Nice.
Our garage stuff is in the good sheet.
All right. Let's see where everyone's at. Okay, we've got Kayla.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Oh, kind of feels weird coming back after last week not having game, but boy howdy do I feel better having had just an extra week of just relaxing and catching up on sleep.
That was nice for us as well.
Long weekends are the best.
Well, Michelle and I hadn't had a weekend night together in months, so we have to have a big
Well, awesome.
celebrations.
Is she still gonna quit her job? Or is your
Yeah.
job doing that in a way?
Oh, Erica Victoria is watching.
Oh, people are watching.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
hold on.
quitting my job uh, in a couple months or soon. I don't know. Got to line up. I'm lining up a job. Right now. And as soon as he tells me, hey, we want to hire you, okay, let me put in my 2 weeks together.
okay.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I I think I told you, but also the friend that Erica's that's staying with us.
Yes.
So if what you're doing right now doesn't, or if that plan doesn't work out, then let her know because that company is actually in Logan. So
Yes.
okay,
Now,
sorry. Go ahead.
yes. Oh, I was just going to say, I'm almost done with this digital marketing class as well, and it's been pretty comprehensive. So I'm, I'm going to be able to do quite a bit now. But I have a lot of experience, but I have the know-how.
Okay.
Now all we need is Friday.
Okay. We may get started before he gets on. I'm going to send him a message real quick. Perfect.
What's up? Oh, it's good to see you too. I don't know if the sore throat that I have easier or harder to talk
Like Jasper.
similar-ish to
No, no, you're not talking like Matthew McConaughey. You're talking like Jasper.
that's right.
Jasper can have a cold too.
Oh, he can.
Okay.
I feel like Gimli right now, though. What's going on up there?
Yes.
I can't see anything.
We should all do that the entire game.
What's
Just have our foreheads.
That's going to be way too much work for me. Parley, welcome, welcome.
Can someone describe it to me, or can they find me a box?
I'll hand you a box.
Alrighty, I'm going to do a quick recap. Are we ready to get going, or do you guys need a couple minutes to chit chat before we start?
I'm putting in spells right now. I don't know most things,
Okay.
but
You will have ample time before you get to a point where you absolutely need them. So
okay.
don't worry about that. Okay. Then, all right. Last time, or I guess last time but one, you guys were able to successfully at least repel the most dangerous invaders on the in the attack on Barrowain. You were able to, while Lord Bellevant was able to take down the Storm Giant, you guys were able to take down the Morgue and its accompanying exploding skeletons. The rest of the army was able to hold the wall of Barrowain at least right now, and it looks like they will be able to continue at least for the time being. So after doing that and finding yourselves almost completely tapped out on resources, you retired back to your inn, or I guess what is it that you have? It's more of a house that you were given. But while there, yeah, your Airbnb. So while there, you were kind of taking some time to relax, or at least recoup. And let's see, Hestia was contacted by your employer. And if I recall, let me pull up what he had sent to you.
He said you guys are all dismissed.
Okay, he said, escaped massive creature, terrorizing countryside, defending the west, reached central Zelkir, investigating mine, status of Barrowain, necromancers, defenses of the city, who is the enemy. You guys were preparing your response. So if you want to give your response on the sending, do you want to take a second and talk about what you want to tell? Why can I not remember his name right now?
We already said that, I thought.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
I already said something.
Oh, okay. Do you remember what it was you sent?
Well, we don't have the words, but after we discuss it, we still like that easily.
Oh, okay. So I think it was a summary of kind of what had been going on, and
And who to
Yeah,
look
sounds
for.
Okay.
As well. Well, we do the two primary suspects.
okay. So after a moment, Hestia, you get one more sending, and this one is much more brief. Scrying you now, do not resist.
Okay.
After a moment, you feel something press in on your mind. Do you push back on it in any way?
I just say I feel like scrying for the and no, I don't.
Okay. There's a pop. It doesn't hurt, but kind of a pop in your psyche, and then nothing changes. After a few more seconds, you hear a voice. Hestia, I can see you. You look to be in one piece. You recognize Master Vokelian's voice.
Still missing one, but yeah.
Well, as much in one piece as you were when I last saw you.
You want to take a look at our defenses so I can go to the wall?
No, that will be sufficient. If you are alive, if Barrowain stands, that is good enough for me. We have only a few minutes before my scrying spell wears off, So I would like more details on your report.
There were giants attacking the city. Can everybody else hear Brooklyn?
No, you are the only one who can hear.
Yeah.
I think I understand what's happening there.
There were giants
I
attacking the
don't
city.
know what's going on.
For the sake of time, I'm going to just say that Hestia is able to quickly relay all of this back to you guys so that you can discuss. But I will let you guys decide what you tell Vocalion. Hestia, are you there?
Yes, we were fighting an army of undead. We haven't found out who's in charge of them except for a couple necromancers. But there was some giants in the army.
Yes, we found out. So that was found.
Oh, I didn't hear that. What was his name?
We don't know. We just have suspicion.
Okay, there was a vampire who was trying to become king. We don't know his name.
Interesting.
I have a suspicion, but it may not be correct.
Well, what is your suspicion? Even if it's not correct, it's good to work things out.
There's a vampire named Pietro I've been looking for a long time. I don't know that they would be one and the same. I just have a hunch it's a possibility.
Okay.
And Malith would look to Jasper and say, I suspect you have your own thoughts on this.
Perhaps, but I imagine it's like a lieutenant, then Iris, Eveline is his assistant.
Can Brooklyn hear everybody else?
Anything you say, I'm going to count it as Vocalion having heard it. Other than that, that's. I mean, you'd have to ask him what's going on for you to have more specific information, but anything you say, I'm going to say Vocalion hears it.
Right. Brooklyn, what's going on with you? How is the dragon?
I'm looking for possible locations. All of the myths and histories indicate somewhere deep in the sands of the desert. There is a mine that I had heard of, and I'm investigating it for now. The undead in the area have been prolific, to say the least. I was able to teleport closer, but we're trying to move slowly so as not to draw the attention of the Lich again. I'm not sure how he found us last time, but I'm intent to not make it happen again. Also, as I had mentioned, there is something I've heard of. Haven't felt it, but it's supposedly very large, guarding the way to the west. I was able to move past it with my teleport, but if you end up coming out in this way, which you likely will need to, be on your guard. Be careful.
We also have a new person in our party. Prince. He thinks he's a prince. Or at least doesn't remember if he is or not.
You trust him?
He seems very trustful, is what I mean by that. Just like you.
I say,
Oh, my own. Well, who is it? Who is it, Nomad, that Iris is assisting right now? Another friend of his.
tiefling by the name of Elford has one eye.
I see that your companions are speaking much, but I'm not hearing much from you, Hestia. I must admit I'm not good at reading lips. Time is short. What are your plans? Is the city stable enough for you to leave it?
I would say if we leave it, it's probably going to be lost.
That may be required. We need to find those who are behind all this. And I think that there may be resources in the capital. Inquire with Lord Bellevant if there is anything else that you can do for him beyond what you've already done. But it may be best if you begin your investigation elsewhere.
Also, sorry if it's quiet. I'm just still upset that I had life force straight out of me, and no one seems to be able to help me out with that. I feel like I am performing at 80% when I'm giving it my all. I feel like I'm hindered, and I start to get a little scared because, yeah, we're dealing with crazier stuff that I've dealt before. So I don't know if you can hear me or understand me, but no.
Gabriel looks very haggard. I can't hear what he's saying, but he certainly looks uncomfortable as he speaks. Was he directing that towards me or towards the rest of you?
I'm going to just relay whatever you guys say and say it to him. So,
Okay.
Okay, relay what I said about it.
okay.
Tell Gabriel that he was hired to do this job. He has an expertise in the undead that he is renowned for, especially among those who know him. He should know the dangers that can be presented when you're facing with more dangerous undead.
I will relay whatever he says to you guys.
Oh, that sounds like a big F you within yourself. Like, that's not very nice. Like,
We should be able to kill
you
you
know,
soon.
all I'm asking is for some help.
I think she's
Okay.
going to help you right
If
now.
I had one more level, I could heal you.
Here, let me just teleport myself back to you and see if I can assist you.
Okay, try not to lose a limb.
So is that how you lost the
There may be resources in the capital that can help alleviate this situation in Barrowayne. Also, I understand that there is a brood of vampires there. I know little more than that. I have not investigated it myself. But especially if you have reason to believe that vampires are at the head of all this, that may be a good place to start looking.
Her necklace and stories seems to be exactly the exception. Sharp.
My time is short. I must leave, but be prepared at the same time. I will send a message to you to alert you that I am going to scry you.
Perfect.
Do not resist.
I
It
love,
wastes important resources if you do.
I love scrying.
With that, you feel another pop internally, and the connection that you had to Master Vocalion disappears.
Oh, that was weird. Shall we go?
No, you guys still haven't rested yet.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of mighty thoughts.
I thought we were resting last night.
No, this is still the night before.
Let's go to bed then, please.
All right, Enrique, go ahead and make a fortitude save.
If I may, did Nomad want to check the bedtime?
Nomad, did I send you the response that Bellavant gave to your message?
Yes, I'm talking
Okay.
to you about that right now.
Okay, perfect.
And no, I would not like to visit him.
Okay.
Got a 17.
Okay. I believe that is high enough. Okay.
Yes.
While you are sleeping, your body is able to shrug off the effects of the negative level.
Oh, nice. Okay. Next morning, I'm just gonna look at everybody while we're eating breakfast. I just needed to sleep. That's it.
Why are you talking?
I just needed to sleep.
We
Yeah,
haven't even
guys,
role-played
I'm
all
fine.
night's match shenanigans yet.
Okay.
He
Okay.
said took a power nap. He's
Oh.
like,
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, here, one
Sorry.
second.
We can back up to middle of the night.
Here, I'm checking something. There might have been some changes in my settings. Our Twitch viewers saying that nobody else can be heard very well. That wasn't the case in previous times, so I'm gonna do a little troubleshooting. If you guys roleplay for a second.
All right.
I haven't joined Fantasy Grounds because it's being stupid.
You're good.
No, I'm trying to join. Sorry, go ahead, though, Jake.
Who wants to start first? The third.
I would like to talk to Dave.
Here we go.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
Do it.
I do have a question. Would I know that ASMR are attracted or sort of compelled to celestial stuff?
I wouldn't say they're compelled, but if you want to know more about, if you want to see how much you know about them, go ahead and make a knowledge planes check.
Do you guys even trust Master Rebellion?
Oops.
Wow. That's 19.
Wow.
I call hacks.
I do have to double check. I haven't gone over his stuff yet, but
I mean, either way.
I treat all knowledge skills as class skills. And I also have bardic knowledge because I'm a bard.
how many points does bardic knowledge give, or how many? Yeah, how? What's the bonus?
Well, it gives half of my bard level, but I also have the racial that allows me to add another half to bardic knowledge.
That's right.
Smartest man in this town. Oh.
I also have points in the planes. Actually, that's one of my preferred knowledges.
So, I know Jasper just said smartest man in town, but honestly, the way I've always pictured bardic knowledge is someone just BSing their way through life.
Actually, it might be -3 of that. Actually, I don't remember.
I'll double check it later.
I
Wait.
kind of understand bardic knowledge, like knowledge that you get through stories and songs. Like, oh, I think I remember a story about that one queen.
Let's see, Victoria. How does that sound? Have you updated recently?
Yes, I did that before I started.
I had something similar. Kayla and I actually had something similar the same time, and we both had to restart
Yes,
Fine.
I remember that. I don't remember if it was last session or the time before that, but it wasn't that long ago. We both had to just completely restart.
Yeah. I just thought it was last campaign. Maybe it was.
Um,
think it was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, there we go.
So, do you guys even trust Master Vocalion? What are your thoughts about him?
Oh, you want to do some little thing right here?
I have yet to meet the man.
Yeah.
I think he's a.
He sounds very serious.
Here, I will be back in just a moment. I need to get my phone so that I can respond to private messages.
He seems good. He seems upright. I think it's just despite his knowledge and skills, this is a difficult mission nonetheless. I mean, do I trust him to be good? Sure. Do I trust him to save us? I mean, I think it's kind of a difficult thing to accomplish for skilled races. Kelly, so no, not in that regard. I think that's different from what you're asking.
Yeah, I think he is trying his best to be competent and knowledgeable and trying to do the best for this cause. But I think as for our team, he's probably not someone we can rely on to actually defend us or be there in crucial moments.
Right. No, he's one that if he finds an opportunity to if he knew that sacrificing us would somehow be connected with saving his realm, yeah, he would do that. Which I kind of like that. It's putting mission first. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't foresee that being an issue. But hypothetically speaking, yeah, I think that's what would happen in that unlikely scenario.
Yeah, I think just the interaction with the king and the wizard seeming to be fraternizing with his sister was just a little bit weird. I guess wizards can do that.
Fraternizing with his sister. Who is this?
The wizard, I don't know. The king was bringing up his sister, and it seemed like they knew each other.
I'm trying to remember that conversation about it is LX. Wait, I realized what I was thinking.
Oh well, it's not really pertinent information. Hopefully.
Did anyone else want to continue that conversation? Should we move back on things?
Hopefully it's a private conversation.
Oh, it can be, yeah.
Semi-private. Hopefully we're
Just
having
have to go
dinner.
to bedrooms. What?
Trying to.
I don't swing any way really, as far as game is concerned. So
I think you guys are doing a bit presumptuous.
well,
No,
the previous night.
This house. Or the bathroom.
Gabriel has feelings for Jasper.
It doesn't have to be private. I just want to talk to him one-on-one at like a dinner table. That's. I mean, you guys can overhear.
Okay, yeah. I see
So you want to date?
opportunity to.
Are we at dinner now or breakfast?
Yeah, no, it's the next day. It's at breakfast.
Wait,
Okay.
next day.
Or that night
Guys.
if you need it to be, but
Okay. So
the only thing Jasper wants the evening for is to do another attempt at that
To make it ignore Malith?
Exactly.
Are you gonna ask for it this time or steal it under his nose again?
That was kind of hilarious.
I think that he's just going to try to steal it again. So if nobody's doing anything else,
The bigger question is he gonna try to get Malif to cooperate this time, or is he just gonna try to be sneaky about it?
we'll find out. This episode of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh no, dude! Look at my perception roll.
Well, the DM didn't ask you to roll perception.
Hey, he can roll perception whenever he wants. Yeah, he sees you.
All right.
And he's just waiting on his bed.
Lying there sexily.
Just wait, what?
I walk into your room. I'm rummaging through your boot. What do you do?
He's lying there sexily on the bed.
No, please.
Here, you can rotate your camera down so you can actually be seen, so you don't have to be dwarf like Enrique.
Hit me like one.
I think you're muted. I didn't hear you coming through Discord.
I like being like a dwarf.
I know we're having
I'm wearing my pajamas.
but this is PG-13. We don't want to.
Okay.
Sometimes
Titanic's PG-13.
Anyway. Okay, so you see.
Okay.
Jasper rummaging through your boots. What do you do, and does he find the holy?
You'll find the holy symbol. But before you get it out, you're just going to hear from behind you.
No.
I gotta know. Are you married? And if you are you trying to do something best? I don't know how I feel about that. Look, you've come in here twice now in the dead of night, and I'm very flattered. Thank you. I am very flattered. And you know what? I don't judge people for what they like and don't like and stuff. You do you. But if you're into boots and stuff like that, just let me know instead of doing things. Because I saw a ring and I think you're married, and I don't want to get involved in something that is going to make your partner upset.
Jasper immediately he just immediately walks out of the room at that point and just slams the door.
Yeah, that's not very clear. I still don't know what's going on. What do you want from me?
Jasper doesn't reply.
Am I near enough to see Jasper being a darned fool?
Can we hear you guys yelling? Can I make a perception check?
Yeah, everyone make a perception check.
I'd love to, but I still can't connect. Honestly, PSA, for anyone that's listening, our viewers, Fantasy Ground's stuck. Don't
Wait,
use it.
is it because... Are you still trying to use on mine, or did you go back to your account?
It says Okanamo, so...
Okay, yeah.
We were going to get sponsored.
I'm wondering...
Screw you, Fantasy Ground.
I'm just
Not
kidding.
anymore.
I'm
Just
just
on your
kidding.
money.
Our hundreds of viewers want us to get sponsored.
Right.
Would a 19 hear that?
Any other tabletop.
I am very grateful for all the viewers that we do have. Thank you for being here with us and enjoying the shenanigans of Jasper and Gabriel,
Jasper, the sometimes sneaky wizard. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure why your Fantasy Grounds isn't working, Carly, because we haven't had problems like this before. So.
Wait, I just remembered, I didn't even log in to your account.
Oh, you didn't even try it out?
Which is free, so I didn't need to use your account.
Can we roll for you?
Yeah, I mean, I can roll for you unless you want to just use dice.
Go ahead and
Tell me
roll.
what
Do I hear Jasper?
I mean, I'm gonna guess probably. Jasper, did you end up rolling a
Probably not.
stealth?
My perception's anemic.
I didn't roll stealth, so I don't think that can possibly beat
Whatever anybody else rolls.
Gabe's roll.
So you literally
Yeah.
just walked into his room.
I have to roll stealth.
That's what's funny.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Well, you actually have a +3. Oh, that's right, because you have dexterity. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nomad, you actually did not notice him going in there, but other than that, everybody else I think did. Yes, everybody else did.
Oh wait, I didn't roll. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Point being, ow, that was the most painful sneeze I've ever had. Probably because I tried to hold it in.
Did I hear Gabriel being like, I just need to know?
Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna be waiting out in the hall and being like, just standing in the front, just like, what the heck, Jasper?
Jasper just he limp walks right on by, cane in hand, and he walks out the door.
Should we be able to do a sense mode?
Don't be shy if you love him.
I mean, we could. How much time are you guys wanting to spend on this situation?
I'm good with moving
we're good.
on. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Okay. All right. So the next morning, so would you guys have talked it out and gotten Gabriel's amulet fixed or not?
I guess maybe not. I think Jasper would have just been a little maybe reluctant to come back inside, but for the evening.
Where would you sleep?
I mean, he would come back inside for his, I don't know, for his 2-hour nap. He's got a handy haversack to, like, clothing for when it's cold, so I think he'd be okay.
All right. So then the next morning, are you guys wanting to do anything before you decide what to do and where to go?
Well, Prince wanted to talk,
Yeah.
and also I just wanted to let, yeah, I just needed everybody else to know, hey, you guys were all freaking out about like, oh no, Gabriel's not feeling well. Gabriel feels weak. Why did his strength leave him? You guys were freaking out for nothing. I just needed you to sleep. I'm fine now. I'm fine. Okay, I need to eat.
Jasper doesn't hide his eye roll.
You're hard to read, man. Okay.
At breakfast, I do want to ask Gabriel how he feels about his celestial heritage.
You can ask him. That's probably a better way to do it rather than saying that you want to ask him. Just
I didn't know if it was breakfast yet.
well, at breakfast,
Oh, yeah,
I
we're
approach
at
Gabriel and then say what you're going to say to Gabriel in character.
Gabriel, how do you feel about your celestial heritage? I noticed the word ASMR, and I didn't know how that affected you.
Well, first of all, kudos for noticing. Nobody else has noticed. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Uh, I don't remember my childhood. Don't know exactly where I came from. Don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Have you ever wondered about the other planes and where this ancestry might have come from?
Well, yeah, of course. I don't know how I ended up in this life, this plane. I honestly, I feel like I'm supposed to accomplish something to get some, get somewhere, uh, get where I belong, uh, get to where I belong, and I'm just trying to live life in the best way that'll help me get there. Um, I don't,
The-
I could be, a tiefling or whatever, and I just think it's more important to be where they belong. And unfortunately, I don't know where that is for me, but I'll figure it out eventually.
I agree. The reason I was asking is because I felt as an ASMR, out of everyone here, you would understand what I've been through, and maybe I could explain it to you sometimes so you understand why I'm here, or why I think I'm here. And I can maybe even help you figure out your path and what you would want to do, especially if you had some insight into the Celestials and where you've come from and what. I noticed you had this medallion of Pharasma, and Pharasma can be rather. Pharasma can be very scary.
Well, a lot of people think of her as scary. Honestly, she's been nothing but helpful in my case. Uh, I don't worship Pharasma to be like, oh, the holy Pharasma. I want to be embraced in your bosom for all eternity. That's not me. My adoptive uh, mom, or auntie, I guess, she, uh, she's a priestess of Pharasma. Pharasma speaks to her, and Pharasma has allowed me to do this career again. She helps me with strength, power, and knowledge. Um, and Verasma just helps people. She just helps souls get to where they need to be. Um,
I'm gonna sort of
but
grimace at what he just said. um, well, I think that maybe soon I can shed some insight into what Pharasma does to those who disobey her edicts.
well, I know some people aren't very friendly with her, and I mean, I well, I would say just between you and me, but honestly, if Verasma wants to know, she'll know. And I mean, I think Jasper's listening as well. But I know Verasma's not always the kindest to people, and I don't always do what she approves of. I I do some things that are not nice, uh, and I haven't destroyed all the undead that I have come across in my life. I mean, there was a small village once that they they were going to they had a drought, and and then they had food shortages, and people didn't have enough food to keep their energy up and work in the fields. So there were some people that volunteered that when they died, they could come back as undead, and they would just like work the fields uh, for the rest of eternity to feed their children and grandchildren and their descendants. And well, Pharasma doesn't look too kindly to the undead, but I just left them alone because I figured, they're not really hurting
Love you
anybody.
too, buddy.
They're not. Uh, they're not substantially adding to uh, to the world, but they're not substantially taken away either. So yeah,
Well, Pharasma punishes anyone who avoids death, and I have been at the hands of that punishment. And I do not think she's evil. I definitely not. I just, it hurts me every time I see her symbols.
Medallion's a tool for me. It helps me do my job uh, quite well, actually. But um, you know, I hope that there could be some reconciliation of some kind. Um,
I think there can be. I just I think we need to know what happens to the undead when we send them to Pharasma's judgment. And it's something that I know, and I would like to share it with you right now if you'd let me. I can share my memory with you.
uh, yeah,
Can I cast a spell, Share Memory? Is
Okay.
that okay? It's a second level spell, I think.
Casper
And I'm
at
gonna
this point
share.
has resumed looking at
Does it share it with only the person you cast the spell on,
Yes,
or okay?
it's a touch spell. It only allows me to share a minute worth of memories. I would like to share um, the
Here,
punish.
message me what you want to share, and then I will describe to Gabriel what he sees.
Okay,
34 spellcraft check.
You recognize that he is casting the spell Share Memory.
Oh, dude, don't I?
You do.
I am going. Well, Princess typing that up and sending it to you. I am going to. I would like to sense motive on Jasper during the conversation, and to kind of see where things are from last night,
And
this morning.
Gabriel, I would like you to make a knowledge religion check.
What he said.
Okay. I'm gonna read the spell really quick to
27.
clarify something. Yeah. Okay, so you're able to show him a 1 minute stretch of your memory. Now, so of the ones that you sent me, Prince, pick one for him to see.
ooh, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Because the context.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's exactly. It's not 1 minute of duration he can see, but a memory lasting 1 minute.
well, considering the context of the conversation, I'll send the first thing I said,
Okay.
just to show him what that is.
All right. So what you see, you recognize as so you see someone pretty much in the throes of punishment from Pharasma. You see the labor, the pain, the suffering, and as you're watching this, you recognize, Gabriel, that this is the suffering of and okay. So your knowledge of Pharasma and the way that Pharasma acts, the best way that you can describe the sort of punishment that you're seeing is intuitively what you would expect for someone who is a mass murderer, someone who has done horrific things beyond what you can imagine. And this punishment is what you're witnessing Prince experiencing, where he is at in Pharasma's domain.
I would. This is what I experienced from Pharasma. This is what she does to people who try to escape her judgment. This is what happens to the undead when they leave this world.
I'm gonna roll a sense motive to see if about all the undead.
Okay,
That,
yeah.
that's
Go ahead, give me a sense motive, and
oh no.
okay. Alrighty, interesting. So
I was rolling so well
your
before.
so it is the combination of your high knowledge religion with your nat one on that sense motive that is going to give this. So your knowledge of Phrasma and how her justice works, it is completely impartial. It is almost, you receive what you have earned, in essence. If you have lived the sort of life that will send you to Celestia, to Elysium, or wherever it would be, I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's the sort of punishment or reward that you would get. And so far as you know, people are not punished for what is done to them, but for what they themselves have done. Now, undeath can do tricky things to the soul, but it does not, from your understanding of Pharasma does not condemn the soul that was turned undead, but the undeath itself is a mockery of her. Now, with your sense motive check, it seems to you that Prince is trying to manipulate your view of how Pharasma treats undead.
Oh no.
Your sense motive is that he's deliberately trying to do that.
That is very interesting. And I'm sorry for all the suffering. Uh, I dealt with my breakfast. I need to tend to my overall health. Aside from now cavities or two problems while we're out in the middle of nowhere. I'll let you finish your breakfast.
Okay, I'm sorry for the inconvenience if I startled you or made you uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. No, I'm just done with breakfast. Don't want to eat too much. Don't want to get loaded down. Uh, especially since I just got some good rest and I'm I'm not feeling weighed down anymore. Uh, I'm I'm gonna get up now.
Okay.
When was the last time you updated Fantasy Grounds, Haggard?
This morning, or I guess this afternoon. Do you want me to?
This platform is retarded.
Do you want me to just exit it and we can jump back in? That might fix the problem. It may just be since it's been on for about 6 hours.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
If everyone can exit Fantasy Grounds really quick. Okay, so while that's happening, does anybody else need to do anything this morning? Or do you know what you're going to do?
Last night, could I have done any fooled around with the staff?
Yes. All right. So, as you are as you're holding onto the staff, you feel a momentary flash of connection to it. And go ahead and let's see, do you have any spellcraft, Nomad?
I don't believe so.
Okay. As you're holding it, you intuitively you can't describe exactly why, but you intuitively feel that while holding that staff, you could be protected from fire. You're not sure the method or the means or the strength of that, but you just intuitively feel that there's something that you can do with it to that regard. You're not yet
Okay.
sure how, or if it's innate or anything like that, but that's kind
Can I
of what
study it?
flashes to your mind. Yeah.
May I study it just for the night and make just a little bit of progress on being able to use that eventually? Or is it going to need something else for me to gain insight? Do I need to show that to somebody or?
You're not sure. So, for, I guess, out of character, just for your understanding, over time, your ability to connect with it will improve, but I'll let you know when that happens. I mean, if you just periodically check in on that, or I guess, okay, you do make progress. You don't know how much. I'm going to put it that way. But you study it and you're able to kind of work out at least that much over the night, is that in some way that this staff can protect you from fire.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Okay, Fantasy Grounds is not up. I am loading up, though. It just takes a little bit to get going. Alrighty. So, what do you do in the next morning?
I would have studied like either the night before or this morning, either one. I just wanted out there, but I would have done the thing needed.
I would send a missive to Lord Belvant and just make sure that there's nothing else we can do and that we can go on our merry way. Yeah.
Response that you receive is that, okay, he says the following: there may be resources in the capital that can help with the defense of the city. There is a rare metal located there in a special place that if you can find it, then it may help with the city. But as it stands, Barrowain will stand as long as it can. And
Can I ask him what unit the metal is?
he responds that it is runite. It is a light blue ore that, while very rare, he knows that there was someone in the capital who had a small stash of it. Though he's not sure exactly where they kept it. And he does apologize for the lackluster information, but he does say that he can send the same soldier that was kind of following you, trying to help you last time. He can send that person to at least accompany you and be of assistance as a person who knows the area. It's someone who used to be from the capital. Okay, Fantasy Grounds is up. So y'all can try and jump back in. So you guys wouldn't go see Bellevant, you'd just send him the message?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'd send the message and he'd send his that same soldier to accompany you, to assist you. And the missive also says that that soldier can help answer any questions you might have. Though he has no authority with regards to your contract with Bellevant or with Vocalion.
So, do we have anything to do before we see Bellevant?
Do you intend to go see Bellevant?
That's what Jasper asks, because I don't think he was made aware.
No,
the
Oh yeah. Did you relay that information to everybody else, Hestia?
Sure.
Okay. Would you still have asked that question, Jasper?
Not if she, well, I mean, if she had relayed what she's missing the message, I guess I would have said something. Do you think that's how he'd prefer to see us off?
We can go if you want.
The soldier speaks up. Lord Bellevant is otherwise indisposed, I believe, at the moment. He's seeing to the battle, and there's also a trial happening, I understand, though I'm not sure for who. It seems interesting to have a trial so at this time, when the city is currently under attack.
Fair point, perhaps the messaging is the best.
He has a slight smile on his face.
The soldier looks back and forth between you and says, I take it that you're going to the capital? Lord Bellevant had chosen me to accompany you, knowing that I'm from that area. Perhaps I can be of assistance, though I haven't been there since the fall of Zelkir. And he kind of zones out for a second after he says that, as he kind of looks down towards the ground. He shakes his head and looks back at you expectantly.
It won't be much of a homecoming. Yes, we want to return, or we want to go to the capital. I'm sure it'll do some good for saving us up here.
Well, let's go where we were going.
All right. How will you leave the city? The west is currently under attack. The north and south, the enemy has not enclosed in there. Though at this point, it is only the basic skeletons and zombies that are attacking the walls, it seems. All of the larger threats were dealt with the prior day by you.
What direction is the capital?
West. The soldier says it is to the west and slightly to the north. From here, prior to the invasion, it was usually about a week's journey, perhaps more. But that was on horseback. That was going as fast as you could, or at least as was reasonable.
I think the way that's not seen by zombies would be best.
I agree.
The soldier nods.
There's a way to hide our scent, right? Or just stealth us.
Can zombies smell?
I think they notice when something's at their time, but that's about it.
I mean, I have a spell that can hide us from them, but it doesn't last for forever.
Well, then I guess we can wait until we notice zombies and just be on the lookout for them.
This- Soldier nods. Do we leave now?
May as well.
Yes. No time to waste.
The soldier nods, and as he goes back to the door, you notice that he left most of his gear on the outside of your place, and so he belts on his sword and a mace, and straps a bow onto his back, and says, "Let's go." There is much ground to cover if we're to make it to the capital in any good time.
I'm gonna make some good berries just for the people who pass by.
How open are you about handing them out?
I'm gonna just be discreet and try and get the people who look really nice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. Parley, were you able to get into... Well, because you didn't jump back in. Parley, were you able to get into Fantasy Grounds?
No, I've been trying this whole
Okay.
time, and I've also been looking up a ton of stuff. It's still not working. And it also wouldn't even let me uninstall. it would crash
Really?
every time I tried to uninstall it.
I wonder if
So
the
I
I wonder if the
go in and
installation
manually
itself is.
delete all the files. I'm reinstalling it now.
I wonder if there was a corruption in the actual files. Then
Yeah.
that sounds very weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. The people that made this were lobotomized.
All right.
Yeah, well, let me get it.
Well, that's because
I
Great,
accept
now it's just spreading like a cancer. Well, sorry.
Did you get a
Oh, hold
virus
on.
on your computer?
me or
I do visit really suspect websites on an hourly basis, so yeah. Just
Me
ask
too.
the question.
is it letting you join, or does it let you select the campaign and try and join? Or are you not even able to launch Fantasy Grounds? Parley specifically.
It's reinstalled now, so here's the moment of truth, baby.
Okay. Looks like Erica's in now. Right, so yeah.
Yeah, it's not working still. So
That
clearly
is
there's something
really
on
weird,
my
yeah.
end.
Well, we'll see if it gets fixed next week. Otherwise, I don't know.
Okay, stealth.
Yes, stealth. Okay. Oh wow. You have a high stealth. Okay, yeah. You carry on. No one reacts to you doing that. Okay. Um
On the path we're taking, are we still in danger of encountering undead as far as our knowledge goes?
that's what path are you taking? How are you leaving the city?
Didn't we decide on a direction, one that's not undead, which would be north or south, right?
Let me oh gosh, I just realized I still haven't gotten a map of Zelkir. We need to do that this week, babe. Let's do that. I can get with you and put that together. Okay, so Prince, you know that the route that you took coming from the northeast or northwest was a at least moderately sparse route, sticking to the mountains.
But I did see the things I saw, though, right?
Yes, you did see the things that you saw.
Is there another proposed route?
You could go south, stick to the mountains. You could go.
What did you see?
I think I said it earlier. Oh, I saw a previously talked about. There was a large creature that the inhabitants of the area had seen going around, and anyone who approached it did not escape. It was killing everybody, and I passed. I grazed by it.
Well, honestly, if we're not the people who could take care of that kind of thing, I don't know who is.
It seemed colossal or gargantuan.
Even didn't McKellian even mention
Yes, he did.
something? Yeah, he's avoiding it with all caution.
I think we should avoid it too.
Rough.
I also vote for
Alright.
avoiding. We have a bigger goal here that we can't accomplish if we're taking out this
Okay.
gigantic thing we know little about.
Agreed.
Alright, well then, let's go on.
Wait. Sorry. I think we should go after this large beast.
The soldier with you pops his eyes up. Go after it?
Yes.
I haven't heard much of it myself, but from the sound of what your companions are saying, it sounds, well, terrifying.
What is your reason for wanting to kill this beast? And do you think this party, I do not know your capabilities, but do you feel as though you are strong enough to take it?
I think
The way that I see it is that this beast is a menace, we're probably at this time the strongest group of people that have the capability to take care of it. And if we don't take care of it now, on the risk of just coming into it later, or letting it attack the capital, or letting it attack Barrowin, if we avoid it now, that doesn't mean that it's just going to go away.
As much as I hate to agree with Nomad on this, he's right. If we don't do this, it could become a bigger problem down the road.
Oh, go ahead.
Especially if our allies have a little more wiggle room to fight and defend themselves, then that's going to be beneficial to us.
That way we can avoid the notice of any other people.
I definitely understand your perspective here, but do we even know enough about this thing to take it on? Like, we all have some knowledge of a lot of the undead we faced so far, and so we can strategize how to deal with it. We can think about how to. But it sounds like none of us have a good grasp of what this is. And if we're going into something blind with no knowledge, it seems like a suicide mission that helps no one. If we could get more information on it to strategize, I would agree with y'all completely.
I may have a way to do that. If you would let me cast a spell, I would like to see if I can find out some more information about this creature. I have a spell called Ears of the City, and it allows me to listen to conversations of local people and events. Flashes are so brief it's impossible to identify particular individuals or places, but I can concentrate on a particular topic or an individual and see if people, and I can piece together a coherent narrative based on those voices that I hear.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sounds useful to
That's
her.
pretty cool.
All right, go ahead. You can cast the spell, and then let's see. What's the
And it
range?
says I can attempt a diplomacy check.
Yeah,
and
so-
I think I can use my performing to do that. Will that work?
So, real quick, what's the ability that you have that lets you use your perform in place of certain other checks?
It is called.
So I can double check the
Versatile
wording.
Performance. There's two different versatile performances. I've got Orator and Sing. It should be on the Bard page.
Yeah. Okay. Versatile performance. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just a standard thing.
So let me read the spell and see what I'm going to do in particular. I can do a diplomacy check to gather information as though I did 1d4 hours talking to local people.
Yes. Okay. One second.
Oh, there we go.
So your no, I forget. What's the type of performance that you have?
It's diplomacy that it wants, and let me see.
Well,
what
no.
versatile-
Well, what's your actual perform?
Okay, they're all the same right now, so they're all. You
So-
mean the skill level? I have
No,
dance,
what's
order, and sing.
okay? Dance, sing. Okay. It was dance, what, and sing?
Dance, order, and
Oh,
sing.
oratory. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So oratory, you're able to do diplomacy, and then sing, you're able to do bluff and sense motive, and then dance is acrobatics and fly. Okay, perfect.
I don't have the dance one yet.
I figured. I was just making sure that you have the actual perform, the proper skill, and the proper thing to do it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make your diplomacy check. That would be a perform oratory. So So pretty much what that does is you just use that in place of your. Okay, wow, nice.
Yes, it's huge.
So yeah, I'll double check the math later, but for now that's.
I can explain the math.
No,
if you need
I'm
to.
pretty sure it's good. 20
It's a
seems
high trust
reasonable.
limit.
Yeah, I know plus 20 seems reasonable if you've min maxed it, though that's not necessarily the right word. If you've fully optimized it,
Yeah, I've got an item that helps with it too.
that is good. All right, so. All right. As you cast the spell, you're able to gather the following. So you kind of zero in on any talk of large creatures so that you can gather. And it seems that the only people talking about this are those who are more recent refugees. So, okay, so more recent refugees are talking about this. There is one person who actually claims to have seen it, or at least the remains of when it's the aftermath of when it's been in an area. And
Can
the
I
sorry, go ahead.
focus on if it's undead or not? Can I?
Nobody
Or
has enough information on that. I mean, keep in mind the people that you're getting this information from, the conversations that you're overhearing are
they're like
ones
peasants?
relating to it's peasants, it's villagers, it is refugees from elsewhere in the country. And so there's nobody who's an expert on undead or on what's going on. And I mean, keep in mind that actually no, never mind. You don't know when all of this began in the country, but point being, what you gather about this, whatever this creature is it can best be described as a massive worm. We're talking leaving tracks on the ground that are 20, 30 feet wide, and it leaves destruction in its wake.
Okay. How many rounds am I doing this for? I guess I can end it when I want to, right?
I mean, you cast it and it just kind of goes through as a flash to you
Okay.
because it's I mean it's 1 round per level, so you're talking less than a minute is how long this lasts for.
Okay. So I am going to communicate to the group. Basically what you said, but also
If you want to surmise anything from that, I mean that's just the base information that you got
okay.
listening to people. So if any assumptions you want to make based on that, that's up to you.
It appears to me that this creature is. Can I do a knowledge? Is there a knowledge I can do to maybe, from what you've told me, figure out anything like guesswork about what exactly this thing might be?
Give me a knowledge religion.
Oh God.
You have no idea. This thing that you're hearing described, I mean it's obviously massive, but you don't know of any undead that could meet this description. You don't know of any creatures that could meet this description directly. I mean,
Okay.
large worm of sorts.
So I'm going to. You guys won't be able to see what I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to describe the 20-foot long.
Well, you didn't see it. You just heard that description.
I heard. Yes, I just heard that description.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems to me like the locals and the people around us are saying that this thing is leaving 20-foot prints about how big it is. It doesn't seem to match any description
Width.
of undead.
That's width, not length.
Width. That's worse. And it does not seem to match any description of undead that I can think of. And I can tell you that I know a lot about a lot of things. And this is outside of my recollection. And it doesn't seem like a party, a group of people who is equipped to fight undead is capable of handling something like this.
Jasper tries to think. Is he aware of like a thick worm boy undead?
Yeah, is there a knowledge roll we can
Yep.
roll to see if any of us knows?
So I will let you I will let one person roll a religion. Everybody else can assist. But this roll is the one that will determine if you guys know what this could possibly be. So
May I?
discuss amongst yourselves
Who
who's
has
going
the
to do
highest
it.
bonus with
Um,
knowledge religion?
I have.
You cannot give each other your numbers.
I have 11.
Don't tell your numbers. Just
well,
did
one thing
convince
I can
each other.
do is, can I do a bardic performance to do competency, knowledge, religion?
The inspire competence, you mean?
Yes. Inspire
Yes,
competence.
you can do that.
Wait, so it's left like a trail, like a snake, that is 20 feet wide.
Yes.
Is what it seems. Okay.
So
I'm gonna.
So you're
sorry.
giving a +4 with your bardic performance.
I'll give him guidance.
Okay. So we're talking a +3. Who's making the check?
I
I
want.
mean, as I said, I have a relatively high one.
Let's just say
So I also trust.
Who is the
very?
whoever is the highest should do it.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to tell each other your numbers. I want you to convince each other who knows the most.
Okay.
Without
certainly not me.
I can't make another check.
I'm
Nope,
not.
you've already so
I've-
with
yeah,
regards
I've
to
rolled.
knowledge checks, if you're trying to gain knowledge about a specific thing, once you have failed that, then your character just doesn't have that information.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit here and inspire you guys.
Kayla and I are just eyeballing each other, like, or not eyeballing.
Well,
Just, like, usually that glare, like, who's gonna do it?
I did say my number
they won't.
earlier before Taggart told us not to, so I feel like
I don't know
I'm
if
disqualified
I don't
on that.
know. You're good.
Realistically-
You're good. I don't know if anyone heard it, so we're
I
good.
did.
Oh, well,
I did too.
realistically, I will say that as much as Malith does not want to trust Jasper, but as Malith is not religious, and Jasper is, this is a case where she might be willing to defer to him.
You just have me all figured out.
Okay. Anybody who
Look
wants
at
to
Jasper's
assist.
beautiful silver
I'll
hair,
assist.
showing his wisdom and his age. He is a learned man.
All right, so I get a plus what?
Okay, hold on. Everybody who's not Jasper and wants to assist, roll a knowledge religion check. So pretty much what you guys are doing is you're sitting down, and after this description, and Prince says, "Here's this description," and I haven't the slightest clue what the hell it could be. You're all just like, "What do I know of that could possibly fit this description?" So you're kind of just like brainstorming together
Okay.
based on all of your
I
experience.
assist.
Okay.
Oh, Maleth assist. Maleth assist.
Yeah, Maleth, that you're going to give a +3 instead of a +2. well-
I'm putting guidance on Jasper
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so we've got a 2,
All
5,
right, so that's
7.
right?
Knowing now that I would have had a nat 20, I am
I
like,
voted for Malith anyway.
Okay, you're taking a +10, Jasper, on top of what you roll. No, just roll and I'll add a 10.
Oh, I'll delete the modifier then.
Oh, I forget that you can do that on a per roll basis. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Wait. Can he take 10? Do we want to gamble this, or do you want to take 10?
Let me put it this way. This is not a circumstance where you could take 10 or 20, because
Okay.
with respect to knowledge checks, that means you're doing a bit more research.
Oh, you suck, Jasper!
Oh my god.
Okay, and that's with an extra +10, right?
Yeah, no. That's my normal modifier.
Yes. So your actual is a 27. Dang it. Oh.
All
I just
that.
wanted known that we should have gone with me.
I mean, it's better than my knowledge check.
Oh, I forgot the +4. So that is a 31.
Oh, so we matched even.
Well,
Cool.
you would have had the extra +14 if you had been the one. So you would have had a 45. The DC in my head that I came up with to know this was a 35. So
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
okay, as you
Sorry,
guys
Jasper, that sucks.
as you pool your knowledge, to sit down and try and determine what this might be, there's only 2 descriptors that you can for sure come up with. Whatever it is big and it is scary.
Yeah.
Great, so a child could have told us that. All right.
Okay, so we still know nothing about how to approach this.
Perfect.
which
Uh,
means it's still a suicide
We
mission.
know
Okay.
it's massive
I'll,
and
I'll,
scary.
I will tell you. I will tell you this much. Malith, you get a hint that you, and this may possibly stretch outside of the universal knowledge, but you get a hint that you know 2/3 about this creature. Whatever it is big and scary. There might be a little bit more that you don't know, but anyway.
I am very confused by this.
Same, yeah.
As a player, Maylith might not be as confused as I am.
Oh
Okay.
no, that's for
One
you
of
guys
us
as a
can go
player to
ahead
know.
and scout.
Let's just move on and do something else.
Look, here's what we can do.
I'm excited for this joke to get called back once you guys find out what it is.
We need to go somewhat in that direction. There is a chance that this is undead. There's a chance that this is just some territorial beast, and that its territory is not near big enough to threaten this city.
Well, then we can
We
avoid it, right?
really don't. Well,
We
sure. But we really just don't know what this is.
we could also warn the people here that this thing exists, is in the area. Whatever it is huge and may be an additional threat. I mean, maybe someone here knows something more than we do. Maybe they don't. But
I think we should go to the city and gather more information. I frankly do not want to die again.
When you say the city, do you mean
So you've gathered as much information as you can from this city about whatever this is.
Erwin?
Yes.
Barely?
What's that?
So you mean pure Barely, not the capital, right? Prince.
Oh, what did you ask me? I'm sorry.
When you say the city, do you mean the city that we're in, Erwin, or do you mean the capital?
I mean the city that we're in. What the people close by.
Yeah, you've gathered as much information from them as you can.
I can't believe how retarded that is. A nat 1 and then a nat 2. This is the
So-
worst moment in any campaign I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to get relatively close.
I
But
mean,
I mean, like maybe within an eyeglass or spyglass distance. Then he looks over to Gabe, who is very much distracted.
I know. I'm sorry. There was something going on over here. I got that taken care of. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, I was.
Scout. Yes, you would scout ahead.
I was saying that I would be comfortable getting within spyglass distance of this creature to get a better look at it.
would I have
Look
any?
at
Yeah.
it too.
Would I have any idea of when Hestia was stealth? Was that against us or someone else?
That was just her. I guess you guys would have noticed. She was giving good berries. She was giving food to people in the city as you were on your way out.
Would we have noticed how good at being a stealth person?
She wasn't being stealthy. I mean, you noticed. That's what you would know.
Whoa, in character. It seems like Hestia would be really good at this job.
What, John?
At
Sneaking up to
sneakily
this
giving
creature.
berries to people.
Well, being a scout. It seems like if we're trying to scout this beast, it seems like someone who is good at stealth would be the best choice.
Well, whatever we're doing, let's move on with it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable getting closer. I don't mind.
We should at least try to find it. I'm not saying that we immediately engage it, but we should definitely try to get some more intelligence on it.
well, y'all are braver than me, but I guess I've already died, so why not?
Yeah, you have nothing less to lose.
You're not even alive. You can use your life.
I mean,
You know,
I
Matt,
could presumably, I could presumably lose this current mode of existence, but
I don't
Jasper
know.
walks up to the nomad, whispers to him,
before you guys leave the city, there is a beleaguered cleric who approaches you. You can tell that he's slightly dirty, blood still on his outfit. His hands are clean, but he looks tired, exhausted even. And he approaches you and proffers a roll of paper towards you, Gabriel, and said, I had heard that you had requested one of these. I wanted to get it to you before you left.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna look at it.
Full knowledge arcana.
This is a restoration scroll. He's like, oh, actually, oh, well, thank you.
Are you trained in knowledge arcana?
15. And I am
I know.
trained.
Okay, yeah, I know yours is being weird.
I am. I don't know.
Okay.
why
Oh,
it's not trained.
Parley, you're in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Christmas
Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy Easter.
Fantasy Grant's the
Everyone.
best platform I've ever used.
I would have to agree.
Rake in that sponsorship money right about now.
Okay. All right, Gabriel. You're not sure. You can tell it's a spell. You're not sure what spell, though. But for the sake of time, without too much
May I look at
difficulty,
it?
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, without, yeah, you,
Just with my divine spell knowledge, would I know what it is?
yeah, you recognize it as restoration.
Okay.
I mean, they told you there was a scroll somewhere in the city. You requested it. Just because you made your save doesn't mean I'm not going to give you the thing that the people told you that they would give you. I ain't that kind of DM.
I do appreciate that. Well, I can deduce that that's what it is, right? Like,
Context clues.
I can put two and two together. Yeah. I'm just gonna say yes. Out of context. Bits of context, I know exactly what it is. I'm gonna grab this guy by the shoulders, look him straight in the eyes, and say, you have helped tremendously. You have no idea. Thank you.
He only halfway seems like he can hear what you're saying, and he nods to you and walks off.
Before we leave as
I feel
well,
kind of guilty.
may I? Well, okay. Well, we're putting ourselves in like major harm's way, and it's not going to be unlikely that level drain is going to happen again. So it's not like we're scamming this guy and we're gonna like turn around and flip this restoration scroll. Like this is like something very important. But before we leave, can I just write and like send a message to Bellamont real fast? It just describes the Great Beast, and I can just tell him like
Yep.
to keep his eyes out for it, be prepared for something like that.
Yep.
I just want him to be aware of it.
Okay, sounds good. You send that to
Might be-
Bellaband.
Yeah, and it, like it might be hearsay, it might not be. So yeah, just something I want him to be aware of. Is all.
Okay. All right. As you guys leave the city, you begin making your way, or what's the route that you want to take? I guess the three options would be north, sticking to the mountains, south, sticking to the mountains, or just directly west, not sticking to the mountains, but kind of finding, or I guess no, then the other two options would be through the desert itself versus through the main roads. So those are the four primary routes that you could take.
It seems like the north was where the creature was around that. That's where I came from. So if that's what we are seeking to do, we should take that path.
Okay, let's head north.
The soldier, he hesitantly, the one who's following you, he hesitantly speaks up and says, well, the capital is also on the northern part of the country, so that would be bringing us closer to the capital as well if we take the north.
I agree. Not too enthusiastic. Probably not going to be our forte, but we'll figure that out. Hopefully from a distance.
I
I
nod
have
at
faith in
Jasper.
this, Jasper.
I hired two people.
I said I nod at Jasper.
And I said, I have faith in us, Jasper.
We'll be fine.
All right. So you begin making your way. What is your so you're going to be staying close to the mountains. What is the general method with which you will make your way? And then based on that, I'm going to have you roll a stealth check. Whoever wants to be the one leading the group, I'm going to have a stealth check and a survival check to determine how effective you are and how inconspicuous you are in your traveling.
Shall we went north last time, right? I mean, necromancer.
That was north. That was close to the city, but that was north.
Shall we proceed the same way to start, and then as we approach the mountains, we can traverse them west?
Yeah.
Seems fine to me.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay. Can you give me a stealth check and a survival check? Determine who's going to do that, and then they will be the one leading the party.
It should not be me.
I think this time Malin should do one of those checks.
I am decent at survival. I have walked these lands all my life. I know them.
By the way,
Within the
stealth and
average.
survival, they can be different people. It doesn't have to be the same person.
I will
But I am
say
not a
that
stealthy individual.
I am not particularly stealthy easy either. I've done a lot of studying in my life, but I'm less adept when it comes to physical focuses.
I was thinking it'd be better to have somebody undead take the lead, just in case we bump into something. But fair.
So you want to use me as fodder?
No. I just like they won't think much of you as a target. Spotting you
That's
would be
fair.
Like
Jasper doesn't think much of you either.
They might say, howdy neighbor, and go about their mindless business.
Malif is gonna quirk an eyebrow and be like, "You haven't actually talked or dealt with many undead besides trying to kill them, have you?"
I mean, does she actually say that, or is that like the look on her
Yes,
face?
she says this with a quirked eyebrow, head tilted, like, "What is this dude smoking?" Look.
Well, I haven't killed you, and I don't plan on doing that. So I think, let's be fair here. I kill the undead that I need to kill, which happens to be nearly all of them.
Oh, Malif is going to sigh and be like,
Spaced out.
You're cutting out hard.
It's like
Yeah.
Wait, Gabe, what do you say?
We can't hear you.
Saying?
Or understand you, I mean.
We definitely hear
Your
some
video is
sounds.
freezing up too.
You're like a Star Trek pandemic
I-
Zoom call right now.
I have a way to know if undead or no. Oh jeez, can you guys hear me now?
Yes?
So yes.
We
Yes.
did when you said
Yeah.
that.
Okay, I was delayed, so
It's so freezing up. Oh, look at that
Maybe
face.
maybe join on your phone.
Take your video off too.
That might do
also
it.
is gonna be a
Everyone
good
take
reason.
off your video except for DM. Just save.
Okay, I'll take
save
mine off.
Gabe.
Save it.
Let's kick him from the group. Oh.
I can pull him back. I just did that to turn off his video. Okay, never mind. It'll put it back on. I thought it would.
He retains the video.
Okay, I thought that would do it.
Oh, now we don't even get his face. We just get the boxes.
Well, I mean, before it was frozen face. He was cryogenically
Still a good
stuck.
face.
It is true. He does have a really nice face.
Yeah, he's a handsome guy.
Are you sick right now, Jake?
Sick of you.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, after we did all that character planning yesterday.
I was
sick of Malith BS.
Oh, Gabriel, can we hear you?
Yeah, hold on. I'm switching to my phone. I'm having some
Okay.
Wi-Fi issue.
Yep.
What was Maleth saying before Gabriel started talking?
Oh, she's just giving you that look and asked, the whole you've never actually interacted with undead
Right.
beyond trying to kill them.
I gave my funny reply. Everyone laughed. I'm so funny. No, but then you said something, or you're starting to say something.
Oh yeah, I was going to say I am not particularly stealthy. I think someone would be better equipped for that job, but if no one else is up for it, then I suppose I will take one for the team, as faulty as the reasoning for it is.
Are we really going to sacrifice?
He's going to kind of glare.
I honestly don't. I don't think we're sacrificing someone who has the appearance of. I don't think a zombie would distinguish between themselves and melee. Obviously, we can't. It's a zombie, so.
What is that?
I think the trouble would be with the necromancer. So
Look constantly. Go ahead.
There are other undead to worry about than zombies.
Correct. Yes. And that's a good point. For which I think
Agree.
Also, have we forgotten about the massive creature that's supposed to be around here that isn't undead?
No, we haven't.
No, we just decided to bite that bullet.
Don't we not know if it's undead or not? Massive creature.
You know that it is big, scary, and that's all that you know.
I think our concern is how are we? Who is taking points right now?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody give me a survival check within the next 20 seconds.
Gabriel,
I am a decent survivalist, but I know that Gabe is also a talented survivalist.
Yes.
So, Gabe, would you like to take point, or should I?
Hestia did a survival, and she got a 27.
Great, take point.
Okay. Hestia is doing the survival.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody give me a stealth check. And this will be for the current journey. This isn't, I'm not going to have you re-roll every single day or every component of the journey. This is for the current journey until something substantive changes. Substantive. Sorry for the emphasis on that. That was a little weird.
My fantasy grounds is reloading because I did have a big Wi-Fi issue.
Do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, I have a plus 13 to my spell.
oh yes, you are definitely more stealthy than I am.
Who's the most perceptive?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was a 31. I rolled 18 for you. So you got a stealthy boy. All right. So you guys make your way very nicely, very stealthily along the mountains. You get to the mountains, and as you're going, you are stealthy enough that I'm going to let you determine what interacts with you. At least for this leg of the journey, there is nothing that's going to jump out at you, literally or figuratively. You're able to see most of it coming along the way. So you do see a small village of probably 4 houses. So really just a collection of houses, not even a village, that appears to be currently occupied. It appears to be currently occupied. Would you make your way to it, or would you remain on the path?
Because
Oh, I should clarify. Once we get away from the city, I'm on a horse. By the way, to reduce the chance of.
Okay, Captain Old Spice. I'm on a horse.
I don't have that walking damage. I get from being one-legged.
The fatigue.
You can talk to anybody and see if they beast.
Do we have a map with us?
Yes, you have a map of Zelkir, although the only things on the map are the primary cities and the main roads, as well as landmarks. But that's there's a couple known oases down in the greater part of Zelkir, nothing up near the mountains. I don't think anyone else can hear you right now, babe. I think it's just me. Sorry. Say that again.
I just want to find a good place to sleep. And
You guys are able to find plenty of place to sleep. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. You guys rolled high enough on stealth. You're keeping out of sight. You're keeping in good paths. From what you can tell, nothing's able to tell where you are or what you're doing.
my vote is we keep going until nightfall.
Sure. Okay.
If we break from this, are you going to require that we
Nope.
re-roll everything?
If something drastic changes in the journey, then I'll have you re-roll. But that's going to be like a large scale fight. Like if you just run into a group of zombies and you decide to kill them, I'm not having you re-roll anything. It's if you were to have something big that means a change in the way that you're going about this trip.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
think we could stop in the village just for a second, ask if they've heard anything we could use about the beast, but we don't have to linger there, of course. We can just ask around about that real quick.
within an hour or less.
Wait, what?
Just saying, be in the village in and out within an hour or less than an hour.
Yeah, I would just say like 15 minutes. We can all just split up and try to talk to some people. That's it.
Right.
Well, it's not the first time we've found survivors. I hope this goes much better than last time.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to say this is before you've rested yet. Gabriel, your amulet is still regular, right? It still gets detected or goes off when Maleth is near.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Jasper grabs the amulet.
Okay. So, Gabriel, being that you're or actually Hestia, you're the one who's leading the way with your survival check. I want you to call high or low.
Hi.
Alrighty then.
Always call high.
You make your way towards the houses, and as you do so, how stealthy are you going to be on approach? Are you going to be open about how you're going up to it, or are you going to be stealthy in your approach? I guess is really the question.
As we're going up to the houses.
Yes. Are you going to make your presences known or not?
Honestly,
see
my
why
plan
not.
is having just a couple of us go and ask around, and everybody else stay out of sight.
All right. As you approach, you hear a few things coming from the houses, but nobody seems to notice your approach. Who all would be going into the area? Hestia, I presume you are, since you were talking about that. Who else?
I would go just for protection.
Okay.
First, protecting Hestia, but
Uh,
not go and talk to
I'm-
people.
I think the
I'll
prince
hang
guy.
back.
You'll hang back. Okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't think.
I'm actually going to hide it on a tree about 90 feet away.
'Kay.
If I can hide.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm staying back too for
'Kay.
now, just to see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for information.
But you're the person who's supposed to be getting information.
Oh, we were.
You would be the most talented at talking to people, I assume.
Yes, I would be.
So
But
I
we
think
don't know if
would
this town
gladly
is
like to
safe
have you
yet.
along.
Aren't we determining whether or not there's a major conflict
Correct.
before we rush in?
Prince, I will protect you.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, Maleth, you're the last one. Going or not going?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So the four of you make your way down. As you approach the houses, you notice that nearby there is a field, and you actually see someone out in the field who is, out raking and looks to be dealing with it. So there are no signs of destruction in the area, but you do notice that one person in the field. He does not, well, whether it's a he or a she, does not react to your approach. And as you get down in between the houses, you can see silhouettes of people moving around in the houses. But again, nobody comes out, nobody sees you. But at this point, you've made your presence fairly obvious.
Has no one they notice us, but they're not responding at all to it?
You haven't seen anybody face to face, but you're not being discreet in your approach into the houses.
The man raking. May I walk up to him?
Yes.
Excuse me. May I speak to you for a moment? I don't mean to take much of your time.
He does not react to you. He continues raking in the field.
Hey,
Make a knowledge nature check.
I am not trained.
Okay.
Am I with him? Can I?
Yeah, you are all together. You're all together.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. It is currently in the dead of winter.
What?
Do I understand the relevance of that?
It is not currently planting season. It is not. I mean, being that you're in a desert, it's not extremely cold,
Oh, no.
but it's not planting season right now.
Is he actually affecting the ground? Like, can I see him moving the dirt around with his rake?
Very minorly. He's moving the rake. He's going about the motions, but he's not really digging in. He's not applying a lot of force. What he's doing could best be described as rote, as repetitive, almost like a performance.
This is another one of those, like, museums, I think. The one that, like, Sin interrupted.
Museum.
I touched the guy, like, I shake his shoulder.
Still no reaction. I mean, you move him, and as soon as you are no longer moving him, he goes back into his position and
Can I
continues.
detect the magic?
Yes. Yes, you can.
All right.
Give me a spellcraft check.
I forgot to modify my first level spell state.
Prince would
Do
know.
that. After I see Nomad shake the guy, I am going to ready an action. I'm going to knock an arrow on my bow, and if anything charges
guys, I think we should just
or
restart.
attacks my party members, I'm going to shoot at it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot at it.
Granted.
And I'm like 90 feet back, so I know we're gonna probably try and run, but I'm trying to buy you guys time.
Could I still do the spellcraft check?
Yes.
'Cause-
Yes, you can. So you notice the only thing that you can tell is that there's a modified. Oh, did you do the spellcraft check? Let me. Okay. Oh, at a 14. Actually, you can tell that there's magic, but you're not able to determine what effects there are. But there's certainly some sort of magic affecting this man.
I look at Nomad and I motion that we should leave. And I think Hestia is right. I think we should get out of here.
Very attractive enough person.
Give me a perception check, really quick.
Everyone?
Just you down there.
Jinx.
Okay.
I suck.
Prince and Hestia, as you're walking out, you notice what appears to be a stand with a plaque near the edge of the field. You didn't notice it before, but as you think about it, you notice that you remember that each of the houses, as you kind of got out into the middle of them, they all had a plaque on them that at the time didn't seem notable. You didn't look at it, but now that you see a bit more of what's going on here, and you notice the plaque on a stand next to this man, or at least near this man in the field, they stand out to you now.
Can I read them for where we're at? Like how?
You'd have to walk to the plaque. I mean, it looks like just a small stand,
How far
4 or
is it
5
away?
feet, probably about 20 feet away from you.
Okay.
But there's like it's like a 4 or 5 foot pole or post with a small plaque on top of it.
I am going to approach it to read it.
It says, "A villager tending to his field."
Prince, I was going to say this earlier. I would fill you in on what happened with our previous companion Stin and the other like memorial type show thing that happened that he interrupted, and that we've come into something very familiar to this, and this seems like the same person's handiwork. But yeah, I'll just fill you in really fast on that.
Prince, do you remember that? Because I know you were watching the campaign, but I don't know if you recall that
No,
incident specifically. Okay, then yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, so then briefly then I'll just tell you that we found something that was like a war memorial type deal, but like what the people seemed to be like undead, or at least like corpses perfectly preserved, and it was like a battle with like two opposing forces, and they were like
I remember. Yeah, and he turned them into. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is that same person's hand.
Would you look at any of the other ones at the other plaques or the houses?
No, I'm gonna take his word for it. I'm still mulling it over. I'm gonna go back with them and see what they say about what to do about this.
I'll read the other plaques.
Okay. So one of the plaques you notice says, "A family at meal together." And then there's
I'm just going to have my whip out. By the
yeah.
way. I'm not going to use it.
Do you look in the building?
Yes.
You notice what appears to be a family of 4. There's a mother, a father, and then 2 smaller children that are sitting at a table, and they are going through the motions of, as if they're eating. There doesn't appear to be anything on the table itself, but they all have a place set for them. And periodically, one of the parents will stand up and walk to a cupboard, open the doors, close them, and then come and sit back down.
Is there anything in the cupboard?
No, there's nothing in the cupboard. The room itself is barren, other than the normal furnishings. It is immaculate, but nothing expensive. Just cleaned.
So there's definitely some
There
like
is
serial murderer, like Zodiac killer stuff going on here.
there is a layer of dust on things, but other than things are organized.
Is there a knowledge check that I can do about this, like whatever this is?
Knowledge Arcana. Knowledge Arcana is all you can think of. Oh no, actually, with the information you have, Knowledge Arcana. Based on the description of what Nomad gave you, so assuming that these are zombies, the zombies can be preserved via a spell known as, oh gosh, what is it called? Why can I not remember?
General Repose.
Yes, Gentle Repose. And they could be given commands after being created, which could account for them not being hostile towards you.
Do these people look like very old, or do they look like they have had like wounds from when they were killed?
Their bodies look untarnished, unblemished, or beyond what you would expect from a normal villager or person.
So in other words, they just look perfectly just
Normal. Yep, nothing notable. No wounds. If there were wounds, they might have been fixed. Oh, actually, also one other thing, Prince, that you would know. There is also a spell called Sculpt Corpse, which you can use to change the appearance of a corpse after death.
So I would know that someone can speak to these dead with a spell as well.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's common knowledge. I'm not going to make you roll a check to know about that existence of that spell.
Okay. I'll talk to Nomad. Nomad, it seems as though I think someone is trying to turn this entire countryside into undead, and I may have an idea as to who is doing it. I did not understand their intention when I first arrived here, but now I'm starting to get an idea of what they meant by what they said. And I'm not sure how to stop them.
Do I hear you as well?
I think you're there, yeah, so you probably would.
Who is this person you speak of?
It's a woman. Give me 1 second out of character, I forgot her name.
Yep.
Actually, you can tell. Who was, and
I'm going to my notes that I sent to you. Trying to remember exactly where.
I'm sorry, I forgot her name. I thought
How
I just
dare
had
you?
it.
Do you remember if that was in our back and forth on Discord or if I
No,
had
it
that in
was
your?
a prompt. It was in the
Okay,
prompt.
that's right. Okay, then I know exactly where to go for it.
Arena. Her name is Arena. And it seems like she wants to turn this world into undead, but she does not care how it happens. These are obviously mindless creatures that have no will of their own, and if this is the perfect life in which she speaks, then I'm not sure I can handle her proposal. I did not know this was
you
what
know
she
this
wanted.
woman?
I do not know her. I have met her, but I was so confused at the time that I could not comprehend what she was trying to say. She told me that she wanted to turn this country into something that transcends death. As someone who has transcended death already, it didn't occur to me what she meant by it.
I see.
Do you know where to find her?
I have no clue. It was west of here, I think. Was it west? It was west of
Give me a
here.
survival check.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, can I do that untrained? Yes.
Let's see how you roll.
Okay. Ooh.
The time after you came to Zelkir is still a bit of a blur to you. You knew you were able to make your way east and find Barrowain and the party, but now as you're kind of trying to recall, you're not able to piece together in your mind anything beyond how long it was that you journeyed. But you're not able to determine based on that really, and I mean some of those first days were even more of a blur, and you're really not sure exactly how long it's been. You know it's been somewhere in the realm of probably a week or two since you got here, but that first little bit was hazy enough that you're not exactly sure where or when.
Well, I'm gonna tell Nomad and Hestia that
And I
I think
believe
she was.
Malith is with you as well, for context. I'm not sure
Oh,
if it'll change
Oh,
anything, but
yes, she is.
she was obsessed with me because she noticed that I I'm not sure if you noticed that they wouldn't have, would they? I am an immortal being. I do not die. I do not age. I do not have the normal issues that living creatures have. And she noticed this about me. And her reaction was joy. Like, she was happy that I had transcended death, not knowing what happens to those who do.
How did you transcend death?
That's hard to say. I woke up in the outer plains next to Pharasma's tower. And I had just endured one of the worst experiences in my time alive, I guess. And after that, it's hazy, and I I'm not quite sure. I know that I was a prince, and um, I know that Pharasma punished me for escaping undeath, but I do not know why.
Says Motive on that. Oh no, I
Oh, you're
can't
not there.
hear
Yep,
this.
you're not here.
No, I
I'm not
wish you
there.
were, because I need to make up for that first 6 months.
I think it'll only make it worse. Those nat ones go a long way.
Well, keep your eyes out for more evidence of this woman.
Yes, I think we can probably move on now.
Could we save these undead? I mean, if we kill
I
them,
could
they're
speak
just...
to them, and I can make one undead, which I can actually.
We can't relieve their suffering? I mean, are they suffering? Do we know if that... Can I do a knowledge... can I do a knowledge check?
Knowledge religion. Knowledge religion. The DC on
I'll
this
give him
is
guidance.
probably somewhere in the mid to high 30s.
Oh, what are
Okay.
these rolls?
It's a 21.
Okay. You are not sure if the and to clarify your question, you're trying to determine if you know whether the souls of the people are suffering
Well,
since their
I
bodies
wanna
have been
know
turned
if...
into undead.
So, I think my character knows what happens to undead if they pass on. I just want to know if, like, and I don't know if I want that to happen. Out of character, I don't know if I want that
Yeah,
to happen.
no, well, I'll tell you this, with
Oh.
a 21, you don't know enough to know about for sure. Like, you can postulate, but you're not for sure exactly how everything happens with undeath with regards to the soul. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words.
All right. So I just know that I was tortured for some
Yeah,
reason.
you know you were tortured for some reason. And to be clear, you are hazy on exactly what you are.
Okay.
The stuff that we've talked about, like,
Yeah.
you're pretty sure on that. Some of it might be you assuming it, some of it might be exactly how it is, but what we've talked about, what's your backstory, all that stuff, that is at the least your perception and your understanding of things. Might be a little flawed, but
Okay.
you at least do not have that information now to be able to say definitively what is it that goes on with the soul with regards to undead.
Okay. Well, in character, I say we leave them. I say we leave them. I do not know if they're suffering, but I feel as though death will probably be worse.
Death for them will be worse.
Yes, death for them.
I think we should make note of this spot on our map, and I don't think we should try to disturb anything until then.
Yeah, I'll say that based on the survival check that you had, I'm not going to have you roll again to kind of guesstimate on the map where this is. You're able to get a pretty good thing. So, need be, given the time and the resources, you could make your way back here and find it without too much issue.
There is a knowledge geography, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, there is, and I'm not even going to have you make the check.
Okay.
You guys had a high enough survival check that you're keeping track of where you are on the map pretty accurately at the moment.
Estia, do you have any ideas of what we should do, or should we leave?
I think we should try. We don't have expertise to really push them. I think the most I could do is talk to them. That's something to do.
Well, do you have any questions you think would... can we ask them if they're suffering in this existence as they learn?
I think so. I'll cast Speak Undead.
Who do you cast it on? So far, you've seen 5: the farmer and then the family.
I think we could do one of
You cast the spell, and for a moment, lucidity comes to the eyes. Would you do the mother or the father?
The dad.
Lucidity comes to his eyes, and he latches onto you visually. As I recall, you get 6 questions.
So then what I do is I ask, what do you know of how you died? That's what I'll ask.
I was killed in an attack. Skeletons and zombies. And a man dressed in fine robes.
What direction were they from? Do you know?
They came from the west. Southwest.
Was there anything strange that you noticed otherwise?
The man in the robes had no emotion as he commanded us to be cut down.
We don't know how to release you, but are you guys comfortable how you are?
We are not. And the way that he says that carries more of the feeling of and you've used speak with dead many times before. Usually when you're speaking with the dead, there's a bit more humanity to them. The way that he talks is a lot more deadpan, and his response carries more the implication of we are not. Not a we are not comfortable or uncomfortable. It's we are not.
Meaning that they don't really exist? I'm gonna ask you, meaning that you don't even exist.
We are not.
Can I do a knowledge, I guess whatever knowledge to check to see if there's a soul in there? Is there a soul in these, whatever these are now? Or are they just animated? They feel almost like constructs. But
Right.
is there,
Yeah.
is
So
there like
based on your previous knowledge religion check, what you do know from that is that undead that undead themselves, if they are intelligent undead, then there has to be a soul involved in inhabiting the body. If they are if they are not intelligent undead, for example, typical skeletons and zombies, then they will not have a soul inhabiting the body. However, the Speak with Dead spell is not reaching out to the body, it is reaching out to the soul of the person whose body that was.
so? And I know that.
Yeah, that is all
So I
known
know
to you.
that. Okay. So I know that. Okay. So the soul is saying I am.
Mhm.
If you if you have any more questions, Hesty, I think you should ask them. But
You have one more.
I think we should dispose of these.
Is there anything we can make things more comfortable?
To that, he responds again in the same way. We are not.
I don't even think his soul is anywhere inside of his
so either.
They're
No,
puppets, and that's all. Less intelligence than even a zombie, it seems.
yes. Nomad, do you have any ideas of disposing of these villagers? Should we burn this place down, or should we just? What would be your suggestion? I am not one for destroying villages such as this.
I don't see the reason to destroy this right now. And I think that should anything happen later, then, we can come back to this spot. But I don't see how these constructs pose any threat to anybody or like that it is.
Presumably, they are under the command of a necromancer, right?
Right.
Could they not
Probably.
be used in the future for the necromancer's armies? Could he not bring them into the fold of his armies and use them to destroy neighboring villages? Or is this just a spectacle?
From the person that you described that probably did this, I highly doubt she's looking to use these people in an army. If they wanted to do that, I'm sure they would have already done so.
I think that's good reason. Okay.
I'm not personally for not disturbing this, but I think that it would be a better idea to leave it for now and come
Yeah.
back if we decide that we should get rid of them or not.
I don't
But
think we
I'm-
should leave any
I'm not
notice or
standing on it.
passing.
I agree.
What was that, Hestia?
We should not leave any notice of our passing.
Okay. So I'm gonna start back out and walk out of the village.
I'll follow him. I'll make sure that I shut the door, leave everything the way it looked.
Okay. All right. So you make your way back up to the rest of your party, and you continue on your journey. You have no encounters or see. You do notice at one point down below you there does appear to be a group of undead skeletons or zombies. You can't be totally sure unless you use the spyglass. But as it's getting close to nightfall, you do notice them at least, though they don't appear to notice you as you're making your way still more along the mountain. And the skeletons and zombies, they're just kind of sitting there in the field.
Oh, how many?
Half a dozen.
We are probably safe at a distance. Ironic that museum of the village back there was probably a little safe for us to spot, but admittedly, we're probably fine just making camp here. Could find safer shelter if it exists. That would require something.
No, I can make shelter for us. How works?
Yeah. I say we go about half an hour off, or maybe at least
Just past them.
off the path a little bit.
Well, you guys are making your own path. You're not on a path. You're just staying
Okay.
further up a bit up onto the where the mountains are starting to go up. You're staying more out of sight
Yeah.
and just kind of making your own path through the brush.
I imagine
Yeah,
we've
we
walked
should
for
just
more than
avoid
4 hours, right?
Say that again.
We've been out for more than 4 hours.
Yeah. Is that the duration of your horse?
I've used my second horse.
Okay.
Are we about to make camp? Or are we stopping
Yeah.
through the night? Okay. Can I look up at the moon and see, is the moon visible?
Let me see, because you are
Wait,
close to trees.
Jasper, how long is your mount's duration?
Yeah, the moon is decently visible from here. You won't
It's
have to
2
go
hours
very
a
far.
level.
Okay.
You should still be on your horse. Yeah, it says 2 hours a level for mount. You should still have your first one.
Not caster level.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be caster level. What's
Oh.
the name of the spell, Jasper?
Mounts.
Leon would not approve of this spell in the slightest.
Yeah, it's two hours
Unless
per
it's like
level.
another
So
guy, but not a horse.
yours is going to go for most of the whole day, Jasper. You get 12 hours of the mount.
Had I known that, I would have only had one.
I mean, technically, you guys were out for traveling for probably close to 16 hours, 15 to 16 hours.
Oh, really?
I mean, you went the whole day, right?
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you're
2 mounts it is.
I'd say you probably spent up in the 12 to 14 hour range.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Future reference, Jasper. For these trips, I would be willing to carry you, so you don't have to spend your spells on that.
Well, and even if you just
Keep that in
have
mind.
if you just walk for a short amount of time, that will be enough that you're not going to have any effects from that. And so you could do a horse and then any additional time either get carried by somebody else or walk.
Sorry, I thought for some reason I thought it was if I walked 4 hours, then I would be fatigued. Wasn't sure what the numbers were.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to break it up and walk for the first little bit and then get on the horse for most of the day and then walk for a little bit more, you'll be fine. So we can say that you only need to really prepare that once and then you'll use it throughout the day.
I can also
Wow.
use the levitate sometimes.
All kind of offers. I think I can just use the horse once. I think I'll be able to handle walking more of the day.
Okay, that is where I'm going to call it tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm going to end Twitch, but I am going to jump on my phone so that I can stay talking to you guys while I go to the bathroom.
So you can
Sorry if that's
chastise me
TMI.
for starting another late night shenanigans role play.
No, you're good. Okay, I'm going to end the stream there because I really have to go. So
Thanks, everyone.
thank you, all of our viewers. Hope that you appreciated that too much information right there. But surprisingly, I'm actually human. And unlike Maleth, I do have bodily functions as well. So there we go.